Welcome aboard Flight Factoids, everyone. This is your captain speaking. It's just past 5 p.m. here in New York, and we're all set for an unforgettable 16-minute journey over one of the world's most iconic cities. Fasten your seatbelts as we lift off and soar along the Hudson River, taking in views of Central Park, the towering Empire State Building, and of course the Statue of Liberty. We're looking at clear skies and perfect conditions, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. We've just lifted off from the waters of the Hudson River, and as we rise into the sky, the northern reaches of Manhattan come into view. Below us, the Hudson flows steadily, a vital artery that has shaped New York's history for centuries. This river has witnessed everything, from the days of early settlers to modern city life, winding along as the city grew around it. It's the perfect start to our journey, guiding us as we head south into the heart of New York. And speaking of the Hudson River, did you know it was the site of one of the most heroic moments in aviation history? In January 2009, Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger performed a daring emergency landing right here after a bird strike took out both engines of U.S. Airways Flight 1549. Miraculously, all 155 passengers and crew survived. This miracle on the Hudson stands as a powerful example of piloting skill and quick thinking. As we bank left from the Hudson River, we enter West Harlem, a neighborhood rich with cultural history. Just ahead is the Manhattanville Factory District. Once filled with warehouses and factories, it is now a lively mix of art spaces, local businesses, and part of Columbia University's expanding campus. Nearby, you'll also find the historic Cotton Club, where jazz legends like Duke Ellington and Count Basie helped put Harlem on the map as a cultural center. This area is a true blend of tradition and new energy. Just ahead, we fly over Harlem, a neighborhood synonymous with cultural and artistic renaissance. In the 1920s, Harlem was the epicenter of African American culture, with figures like Langston Hughes, Louis Armstrong, and Zora Neale Hurston leading the Harlem Renaissance, a movement that reshaped American literature, music, and art. Today, Harlem remains a vibrant center of culture, known for its historic jazz clubs, the Apollo Theater, and a strong sense of community. As we fly further into Manhattan, Central Park stretches out beneath us, a green sanctuary in the heart of the city. From this height, you can see the intricate layout of paths, lakes, and meadows that have provided New Yorkers with a place to escape the hustle and bustle since it first opened. Its 843 acres are filled with iconic landmarks, including the Great Lawn, the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir, and the tranquil beauty of Sheep Meadow. Central Park wasn't just designed as a park, it was a visionary response to New York's rapid growth in the 19th century. Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux designed it in the 1850s as a place for all people, regardless of background, to come together and enjoy nature. It was the first large-scale landscaped public park in the United States, and its rolling meadows and picturesque bridges were crafted to look natural, though every detail was meticulously planned. Over the decades, Central Park has become a cultural icon, hosting countless events from concerts to political rallies. It has appeared in more movies and TV shows than almost any other location in the world, from Ghostbusters to The Avengers. And let's not forget the unforgettable Simon and Garfunkel concert in 1981, which drew 500,000 people to the Great Lawn. Now that we've explored some of Central Park's highlights from the air, we'd love to know, what's your favorite part of Central Park? Is it the peaceful serenity of the Shakespeare Garden, the sweeping vistas of the Bow Bridge, or perhaps the lively atmosphere of Sheep Meadow? Let us know in the comments below. As we begin to leave Central Park behind, take one last look at this green oasis, a testament to New York's ability to blend nature and urban life. From picnics on the grass to romantic strolls along the pathways, Central Park is the city's playground, beloved by both locals and visitors alike. As we leave Central Park behind and head into Midtown, the skyline opens up ahead of us. This part of Manhattan is packed with some of the world's most iconic buildings, and just a bit further ahead, you'll start to see one of the most famous, the Chrysler Building, standing tall in the distance. And there it is, just coming into view, the Chrysler Building with its unmistakable pointed crown. Even from this distance, you can make out its spire, a gleaming symbol of New York's golden age of skyscrapers. As we bank right, there's the Chrysler Building with its iconic Art Deco crown. Built in 1930, it was once the tallest skyscraper in the world. Its stainless steel spire, layered arches, and gargoyle eagles give it that classic Jazz Age look, capturing New York's ambition. Almost a century later, it's still one of the city's most admired landmarks. As we approach Midtown, there it is, the Empire State Building, one of New York's most famous landmarks, towering over the skyline. From this angle, you can see the Empire State's distinct Art Deco design, completed in 1931 and still admired today. The building was once the tallest in the world, symbolizing New York's ambition during the Great Depression. Its spire was even designed as a docking station for airships, though that idea didn't last. Almost a century later, the Empire State Building remains a beacon of resilience and one of the world's most iconic skyscrapers. As we cross Midtown from 33rd to 23rd Street, you'll notice a standout feature to the right, the gold-topped New York Life Building, its gleaming crown catching the light. This building has been a fixture of the Manhattan skyline since the 1920s, an elegant touch amidst the mix of modern and historic architecture that defines this part of the city. From up here, Midtown looks like a giant grid puzzle, each block connecting layers of the city's life and daily rhythm that keeps it moving. Out the right window, you can catch the silhouette of Lower Manhattan in the distance. From here, the iconic skyscrapers of the financial district rise against the horizon, including the towering One World Trade Center. As the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, it stands as a powerful symbol of resilience for New York City, anchoring the skyline with a reminder of the city's strength and spirit. Leaving Midtown behind, we cross over the East River, heading south toward the Williamsburg Bridge. This bridge has linked Manhattan and Brooklyn for over a century, built to handle the city's growing population. Its steel arches stretch across the river, connecting two bustling boroughs. The East River below has been a vital waterway, once crowded with ships and now filled with ferries and kayaks, carrying New Yorkers every day. As we keep flying, I'd love to know, if you've been to New York, what's a place that really made an impact on you? Was it the view from the Empire State Building, a quiet corner in Central Park, or even a surprise find in the city? And if you haven't been, where would you go first? Are you more about the famous sights or curious to explore local spots? Drop your favorite NYC memories or dream destinations in the comments. We'd love to hear what makes New York special to you. As we glide over the East River, you'll see two of New York's most iconic bridges, the historic Brooklyn Bridge and the steel Manhattan Bridge side by side. The Brooklyn Bridge, completed in 1883, was an engineering marvel for its time, with its stone towers and sweeping cables that transformed how New Yorkers crossed the river. Beside it, the Manhattan Bridge, built later, stands with its elegant steel arches, connecting Manhattan to Brooklyn's vibrant neighborhoods. These bridges offer not only routes into the city, but some of the best skyline views around. A true landmark that's become a part of New York's identity. We're directly over the Manhattan Bridge now, its blue steel frame stretching across the East River below. Known for carrying both trains and cars, it's a vital link between Manhattan and Brooklyn. Up ahead, the Brooklyn Bridge comes into view, with its distinctive stone towers marking one of New York's most celebrated crossings. Above the Brooklyn Bridge, see its iconic shape stretching over the East River, its cables forming a web against the city backdrop. Built in the 1880s, it was one of the greatest engineering feats of its time. As we bank right, take in the flow of people and traffic below, a daily rhythm that's kept this bridge alive for over a century. From here, you can see One World Trade Center standing tall above Lower Manhattan. Known as the Freedom Tower, this building rises to a symbolic height of 1,776 feet, marking it as the tallest in the Western Hemisphere. It's a testament to resilience and rebirth, with its glass exterior reflecting both the sky and city below. As we get closer, notice how its shape tapers elegantly as it rises, a design choice that balances strength and grace. Its spire, reaching into the clouds, makes it a beacon visible across the city, honoring the past while anchoring New York's future. Emerging from the shadow of the Freedom Tower, we're reminded of its towering presence over the city. As we bank left, our final destination comes into view. The Statue of Liberty standing tall in the harbor as a symbol of hope and freedom for all. As we fly closer, the iconic silhouette of the Statue of Liberty comes into sharper view, standing alongside the historic Ellis Island. For millions arriving in the United States, these landmarks were more than sights. They were symbols of a new beginning. Below us is Ellis Island, where over 12 million immigrants took their first steps toward the American dream. Each brick on this island holds a piece of that journey. Stories of resilience, hope, and courage echo through its walls. And beyond, Lady Liberty herself, gifted by France in 1886, lifts her torch high. Next, we'll dive in for a closer look, discovering the intricate details and history that make these landmarks unforgettable. We're now coming up on Ellis Island, once the busiest immigration station in the U.S. Between 1892 and 1954, more than 12 million people arrived here, each carrying hopes and dreams of a new life. These red brick buildings below hold countless stories of resilience and hope, reunions, new beginnings, and a world of possibility. Today, Ellis Island stands as a powerful reminder of the courage that built this nation. As we approach the Statue of Liberty, one of the world's most enduring symbols of freedom, take in the breathtaking view of Lady Liberty herself. Gifted by France in 1886, the statue stands 305 feet from ground to torch. For millions of immigrants arriving by sea, her image was the first they'd see, a sign that their journey toward a new life was beginning. Sculpted by Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, her design is rich with symbolism. Her torch represents enlightenment, and the broken chains at her feet signify freedom from oppression. The tablet she holds is inscribed with the date of American independence, July 4th, 1776. From this height, her iconic green copper form is unmistakable. Over the years, she's become more than a monument. She's a living symbol, a reminder of the ideals that shaped this nation: hope, liberty, and the pursuit of a better life for all. As we leave the Statue of Liberty behind, that brings us to the end of our aerial tour over New York City. We've seen the heart of Manhattan, the historic bridges, and the symbols of freedom that define this incredible city. If you enjoyed the journey, please subscribe for more flights over some of the world's most iconic places. Let us know in the comments where you'd like to explore next. Thanks for flying with us on Flight Factoids. Until next time, safe travels and clear skies.